live stream. Okay, so this right here, I'm watching this on live stream. Hello, this guy, everybody. This is Element Reptile. Um, I'm right now doing a live stream reaction. Um, this is usually just like my tradition to end things up. So this is news right now. It's Harry. It's what's coming up. I think I've seen this before. Chibi Reviews. It has officially announced something that it has to be talked about. I think this is on the situation on behalf of Crunchyroll. Now, Crunchyroll is getting a lot of slack due to the due to this law shit that's going down right now. I know for sure that for what I've known is the audacity that they use to rig Crunchyroll. I mean, rig the elections. Rig the elections. Hold up. Whoa. Rig the elections. Hold on there. Hold on. Rig the elections. Hold that shit. Oh my god. But what I'm trying to say is their audacity to rig like the awards that they created themselves. There was no denying that the audience they were trying to like focus on was mainly tourists. All right, tourists and normies who just got introduced to anime. Now, I too am like on the border between tourist and a true person of anime because I expand. These people don't. I expand thoroughly from just a typical shonen jump. There's animes I watch like Summertime Rendering, Heavenly Delusion that Disney brought out, and I watched, of course, My Happy Marriage, My Dress Up Darling. I watched horror, creepy ones, mystery ones a bit. Oh no, Hamatora. That's another one. That's another important one. Hamatora. Because yeah, sure. We have stuff like solo leveling. We have slops like isekais. We have etchies that we all love to enjoy and watch too, from without our parents watching and with a tissue. But this is going now. But the fact that the audacity now is going from that Crunchyroll now controls 75% of all anime, and CEO plans to make it exclusive. This may sound bright to many of the people who are entering this because it's gotten so huge now to the point that Billy and Korea's jumping in, Netflix is jumping into this. But what about Chibi reviews? Well, let's go see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say. Right. Oh, hold up a second. Oh my god. Did I forgot to put up the audio. Hold up. Ah, great.
Crunchyroll now controls approximately 75% of the anime streaming market. This dominant position raises important questions about competition and distribution. The company has expanded significantly, becoming a key player in both licensing and producing anime content. The dominance of Crunchyroll means that many viewers now turn to this single platform for most of their anime needs. Despite its growth, Crunchyroll has remained silent on its involvement with major Netflix exclusive series. This lack of clarity adds a layer of complexity to its business practices. Industry observers note that such exclusivity could limit the availability of certain titles to a broader audience. The interplay between Crunchyroll and Netflix reflects broader trends in the streaming landscape, where exclusivity often shapes viewer experiences. Well, guys, I mean, seeing this title, there's multiple articles on this. By the way, you have an article like this, you have an article like this talking about it. There's quite a few people talking about it. There's a Reddit post about it as well. There's a few people talking about this, and I saw this grace my feed, and I was just like, really? Is it actually true that Crunchyroll controls 75% of anime being produced? Or 75% of anime they have licensed under their umbrella, and they are allowing the West to see? If that is indeed the case, and this number is actually accurate, that's a pretty scary thing, because it's like, there is just so much more that Crunchyroll can control, but the fact that they've already managed to make it this far, it's a monopoly. It's exactly
It's become
what
a
I
monopoly.
and so many others have been saying for a very long time, but it's very clear. If this number is indeed accurate, and Crunchyroll legitimately has licensed, and they are connected with over 75% of all titles of anime that's produced on a yearly basis, it's already over. Like, it's like we're already seeing the spiral, the death rattles of
Oh, God.
anime culture itself. Because this right here, this is what I've been talking about. This is
I think no. I think this is gonna lead people to do pirating. I think no, because the death of anime is that the death is within Japan. Now people, because now people, what I mean, TV reviews probably knows more than me, right? I believe that anime, not to mention the fact that anime is that has been going public. Yes, it's dying because of it's being censored through Crunchyroll because of their laws of being here in the West. Texas just straight up banning it. I get it, but I don't think anime. This is the death of anime because anime has been around. The reason why like the anime died down between the early 2010s. That's when it died down a bit until Attack on Titan came up. It died down between 2009 to 2012, 2013 until Attack on Titan. But Attack on Titan was not even known yet throughout many Gen Zers. Mostly millennials, but not even millennials would know what Attack on Titan was. So it died. It died even throughout the Monogatari series and the Fate series. It kind of died a bit, but then it came back up somewhere around 2014, and that's where it starts to rise up, even peak to peak and higher. That part, yes. Uh, to 75%. Another part is, anime is not only Japanese. Now, that's what I say. I repeat this again. Anime right now is mainly Chinese now. It's going to be Korean. It's going to be Filipino. It's going to be Thai. Soon. Korea is making their own animes. Hanguk Aini, as they call it. And it's almost Makoto Shinkaiish. And then they also have True Beauty, which is made by Studio Mer. That's Hanguk Aini. That's they have their webtoons. Webtoons is being having adaptations in anime. Yes, although the most of them are going to be like action adventures and action explosions, which not all anime is that. But yes, but Don Juan's coming up with it. People are trying to skim more. It's just trying to spread throughout. But on the other hand, if if that is the case with this, I mean, it says it here. Look, the impact on viewers, the reality that Crunchyroll controls a significant portion of the market that leads to. Let him say it. Let him say it.
is what I've been warning about. This is what many of us have been worried about for a very long time. And this is scary. So, before we go any further, let's continue reading this article and then we'll dive more into what this overall all means. So, the impact on viewers. The reality that Crunchyroll controls such a significant portion of the market leads to an important implications for viewers. With so many titles in one place, users may find it convenient. However, it also raises concerns about content diversity and accessibility. A single platform yielding substantial control can shape the types of shows produced. As a result, viewers may miss out on a broader array of storytelling.
Yeah.
Competition within the anime streaming sector is crucial for ensuring varied content. When one platform holds the majority, creative risk may diminish. The rise of Crunchyroll creates challenges for smaller distributors. Traditional anime fans have historically favored diverse sources, making this shift. Segment right here is very interesting. I like this little opinion piece or little addition here to this article because I think this really does reflect the negatives of Crunchyroll controlling the vast amount of the market. Honestly, this statement can be applied to pretty much any company. I think if there's any company that controls like 75 or even over 50% of the content of that certain entertainment, that's not good. It's not. No company should have a monopoly because the risk of it, and I think I should explain this, is that if a company holds a monopoly, they don't need to innovate. They don't need to make their content better. They don't need to necessarily reform or try to have a better user experience because if they own the entirety of the culture, of the entertainment, and they have no competition that could even put a dent in them, why would they need to improve their web browser? Why would they need to improve like their search function? Why would they need to add comments? Why would they need to worry about if you can even communicate with them? Because the only way you can actually get anime legally is through them. So effectively, the damage here is that if a company holds the majority of anything, they don't need to innovate. They don't need to listen to their customers. The only time they necessarily do is that they start losing a lot of money and people start canceling their subscriptions. But then that gets into the era of piracy, and I'm not gonna do the moral high ground and stuff with that, but I'm just saying it's still not always a complete answer to the problem, because Crunchyroll now, they don't just have a iron grip on anime in the West, like for instance the United States or Europe and stuff. They have an iron grip on anime at the very source where it's produced, with Aniplex as well being owned by Sony. It's not good, because this means that with the overall influence that Crunchyroll has, they can shape and mold certain things to get anime, or certain stories to get greenlit, and certain stories to just be, no, cancel that, get that out of here. And you can lead to more safer projects that, play it safe, do the exact same thing over and over, instead of trying to innovate and do something relatively unique. And we gotta look at the overall business model of what Crunchyroll has obviously been catering to, and what mainstream anime has been doing as well. We gotta think about it. Like, this recent Crunchyroll Anime Awards is very relevant to this topic, actually. It's very clear that shonen is a big moneymaker. Crunchyroll obviously sees this. Soul Leveling is a good example of this. And, if that is going to continue, that trend is going to continue, and it will continue, that means that Crunchyroll will heavily put all their resources and everything into producing more anime like Soul Leveling, which would dilute the waters and make other projects, like for instance, let's say if it's a Slice of Life series, fall on deaf ears or not be relatively important in comparison to a battle shonen action fest like Soul Leveling. Now, there's nothing wrong with enjoying these type of stories, but the big point here is that Crunchyroll doesn't just have a grip on distribution into the West. They have now been involved in anime projects, producing of anime at the source in Japan. So those that want to, let's say, theoretically pirate and get away from Crunchyroll and not even use their service, necessarily you're still using their service, because if they are helping produce, like for instance something like Soul Leveling, technically you're still supporting them because you are watching the show that they produced. So there is really no escaping, because Crunchyroll's money and influence has grown to such an extent that honestly at this point in time, I don't really know what a solution is besides a rival company coming in or Crunchyroll going bankrupt, which it's bad, man. This is a legitimately bad situation. Just seeing this type of article being made and seeing basically that Crunchyroll controls like 75%. I don't know if this number is entirely accurate. I have no idea. But I would have to pull up a list of anime that comes out on a yearly basis and cross-check that with, what's on the Crunchyroll service. If someone's already done the math on this or the research into this, please let me know in the comments below. Or if someone wants to do that, also let me know in the comments below. But, I mean, it is kind of believable, because Crunchyroll does pick up a lot of projects, and typically, anytime they do pick up a project, usually it's exclusive, and that really kind of falls into what this statement from the actual CEO of Crunchyroll said, that he wants more exclusives on the platform. He wants anime
I think too that that also goes with some of the people from Netflix too, because maybe or not, I think or not, maybe because Netflix did have a partnership with the CEO of Crunchyroll because they had Don the Don and um, Moon to Rise. I think they had it, which was a project that was closed down since 2018. Right? Not Lazarus. Lazarus is part of Adult Swim from a whole other site. Uh, they had that, and they kind of released Don the Don. I know Netflix has a really good they have a really good Netflix show. Some really good Netflix shows just going on. Studio Orange, I think, has another one too, another project going on Netflix. Besides the cold live action of slop of Kakaguri, except One Piece. One Piece, the One Piece live action remake is actually pretty dope. It's pretty good. But the 75%, I mean, this is gonna be leading to that. Now it depends to where now even Hulu is has been jumping into the anime. And now you got not only that, they're trying to show this crazy competition that at this point on, like, when will it be when will it be over? Like when will it stop? No, I don't think that's gonna stop on his behalf. And I think Chibi says it's just, Chibi has said it so directly that nothing of this shit is gonna stop. It's not gonna stop like forever, not gonna stop in the future until something happens and they get caught red-handed, controlling 75%. Aniplex gets controlled by Sony. No, that's part of it. Now, although Aniplex as well, I think it's been shown too that Aniplex, like since Crunchyroll also kind of have partnerships with webtoons, Aniplex has to control with Sony and Billy, and they're going to collab with Billy. So all of it now is kind of be like, I guess what Chibi says to himself, that everything's just gonna be pure action, 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 which is nothing wrong with action. We all love action. We all love aura farming. We all love, like beast mode. But that's pushing away, like he said, pushing away anything else, many other genres else. Sci-fi anime, which I like. But there's also world viewing, like Free Rent. Free Rent had action scenes, but it was a refresh of world viewing and storytelling. That's what's more important. The Monogatari series, which many, many, many normies dare not to watch, had as well like an art of wild dialogue, and and it's well known. But instead of that, they want to choose something. They say, "Oh, I want something outside of Naruto. I want outside of Bleach." Okay, I'm gonna choose Fate, and and little did they know that Fate is filled with fan services. Little did they know that Fate has lolly into this. So that's gonna be jokes on them, especially with Texas. Hey man, Texas probably is gonna be banning Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll has a base there in Texas. Imagine them getting raided by Texas. Ah, shit. But this is because this is the controlling of the marketing. That's probably not it. But anyways, I think that's something else to see how
Anime
yes.
to be strictly just Crunchyroll and not associated with any other platform, which gets into like, issues that means that people have to subscribe to Crunchyroll to even legally watch something.
No.
Inconvenient at that. But then to go one step further with all of this issues is the fact that we have seen Crunchyroll actively hinder, and sabotage advertisement of anime that they have to share exclusive rights with. For instance, Dawn to Dawn. I talked about this already, but we saw how Crunchyroll reacted when Toho was like, hey, you gotta share the exclusive rights, with Netflix as well. And because of that, Crunchyroll decided not to even advertise Dawn to Dawn. A lot of people didn't even know Dawn to Dawn was on their platform. So when you see just this statement from the CEO himself about exclusivity, and you talk about how much they control, it's not good, man. It's really dark, man. Like, this is a dark time for the anime community. It's It's not good, man. Like it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. But I wanted to talk about this. I saw this grace my feed. What's your guys' thoughts? Do you think Crunchyroll actually does control 75% of anime that is produced, like that's coming out onto streaming, or do you think that this number is inaccurate? If anyone could do the math and the research on this, please do so. I would love to see that and the data and stuff that accompanies it.
Yeah, I think that'll be it for guys. But anyways, thank you guys for streaming. I hope you guys watching this. Um, we do this another time. Already been 2 hours already, past 2 hours. Oh shit, 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's already 10 p.m. I'm supposed to do my lunch. Everything. I hope you guys love this. My name is Oliver Reptile. I'm your artist. I'm your good reactor, and we see each other the next time. So, deuces, bro. Hmm.